Stalker predator, so what, he hides in your bushes? Weird. Today we're taking a look at Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Predator 2 Stalker Predator. Welcome back. Always a good day when we open a Predator 2 figure. Here we have the Stalker. Interested to see how he turned out. Looking at the packaging, we have our usual window box here. Predator 2 on the side, on the back, a couple of pictures of him. So let's get him out of the packaging and see how he looks. So now that Stalker is out of his packaging, we'll start by measuring him up. We can see that he stands about 4 3/4 inches tall, or about 12 centimeters. Looking at accessories, we of course start with the Hiya Toys base here, done in a muddy kind of texture. We have the peg hole here. You can see all these slots around the base here. Using any of these two little brackets, you can fit them into the slots and then attach it to another base from another Hiya Toys figure. Always handy to have. I use the base for every single figure. For our hands, we have a splayed open left hand and a relaxed right hand. It does come with his disc, this one done in gold. Interesting that it doesn't match his armor. You can see, nice dry brushing on there. We also get the combi spear. This does match his armor, same as the ones from the other Predator 2 figures. And last but not least, we get this crazy alien skull. I don't know what creature this is, but it's pretty fearsome. We need to see the Predators hunting some of these creatures at some point. That is wild. So not a bad array of accessories for the figure. Looking at the figure, this is a pretty stripped down Predator. He doesn't have a whole lot of armor or anything like that. Nothing too wild about him. Just nice and simple. He's got nice ridges along his mask here. Kind of similar to what we saw with the City Hunter, the Jungle Hunter. But this gold detail kind of picked out on the sides here. You can see the eyes are pretty narrow and small on this mask. One of the interesting things is on the box here, the color is completely different. This is a kind of a dark copper look, and that's more of a steel. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be in the movie, but it's interesting that the colors changed so much from the picture to the figure itself. He does have a little bit of kind of copper look to him, or a little bit of gold on his shoulder pads here. Reminds me of like samurai armor or something like that. Pretty cool. I like the orange skin tone. That does make him look good, and all the different little highlights picking out different shades in the skin there. This kind of yellowish green and tan, even some white down here on the legs. Looks good. Of course, has the fishnets. No wrist gauntlet computer or anything like that. I think that hand is in there quite right. There we go. On this side, no gauntlet, no blades. Just some kind of decoration. I don't know if that's meant to be bone or something like that. He does have a pouch here, kind of like a medicine pouch or something like that. This spot here is where his disc attaches. Try to get it in. Can be a little tricky. It's in there. It's not going to stay though when I move the figure. But going down again, the copper highlights kind of just on the edges of his armor there. Really help make it look like metal. Very realistic. You can see some speckling on his toes there, just to give a little bit of color differentiation. He does have peg holes on the feet to use at the stand. And there goes the disc. On the back, the loincloth is done in a bit of a thicker rubber, but you can still kind of move it around and see that it's got a G-string on. Didn't need to know that. Nice striping up the back too there. Like they put the detail into the back of the figures too. A lot of companies, they'll cut corners and just do the front and stuff like that, but not Hiya. And his dread's very, very straight, not all stuck out, very stylized, very kind of clumped together. So an interesting looking Predator. Not my favorite design for Predator, but a good kind of standard Predator, I think. It would be interesting to know the backstory of this guy and what his role in the Lost Tribe is, but I guess you can leave that to your imagination. I like to think he's maybe a medicine man or something like that. Helps the shaman Predator with his little pouch here. Turning to articulation, I do have a little bit of a problem with my figure. In the box, the head was actually not attached, so you can see how it attaches there. And I've heated this up and tried to get it on there, and it just won't pop down all the way. It'll go on enough so that it'll stay, but as soon as I turn the head, it doesn't, it pops off, so I can't do any head articulation for you. He does look like he'd have a pretty good range of articulation since there's nothing really blocking him, and his hair is kind of straight in that. He should be pretty similar to the other Predator 2 figures that I've reviewed, if you want to go and see those reviews. The shoulders go up about that far. There is rotation at the bicep. You do get a single bend elbow. This guy does feel a little flimsier than some of the other Predators. The Predator 2 figures weren't the sturdiest ones, and this guy in particular does feel a little on the fragile side, so just be careful when you move his joints. The hand is on a ball peg. You're able to go back really far with him thanks to the lack of armor. Go forward just a little bit, turn side to side, and of course he rolls around. There is no waist articulation, but he is able to spread his legs very, very far. There is a swivel at the top of the thigh. The leg can kick back and does a really good kick forward. And you have a good double bend knee. As for the foot, rotates back and forth. No up and down. I think that's just the peg wiggling around. No side to side. So good upper and upper body articulation. Just be careful with the arms and that. You don't want to bend any of the, or break any of the joints and stuff like that. So while I don't really have any issues with the figure aside from the head not popping on properly, I find the design of the character is a little bland. There's nothing too exciting about him that really differentiates him from the other Predators, especially the Predator 2 line. They're so interesting and went in some wild directions. This guy's just kind of a standard Predator. I do like his mask design, and the skull here is really cool, but he's probably not going to be people's first choice for a Predator figure. When lined up with the rest of the Lost Tribe, I think he'll look good, and I'm happy to have him. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. That really helps me out. I have reviewed many Alien and Predator figures, and I have many more to come, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see those. But for right now, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.